Welcome to the Strawbale Studio, where we're thatching with our local invasive reedgrass, Phragmites, and making beautiful roof structures. We were taught by a master thatcher who came in and led a 2-week class, and that was in 1998, and we've been harvesting reed ever since. You'll notice the reed is long-lasting, overlapping. It's all natural, biodegradable, and expected to last really 40 years, and it's 20 years old now. There are frames where students can get the hang of it and learn the basic techniques, a number of little buildings that demonstrate different styles of thatching, and we go out into the reed fields each year to harvest that reed in the wintertime when the reed's dormant. This is called a serrated sickle, hand serrated sickle, and my preference is to have an end or some sort of knob at the end. It's easier to hold on to. And I use some hand clippers to trim the top of the reed. Safety glasses if you want to protect your eyes from bending over into reeds that are poking up. Some gloves, really pretty important for the harvesting process. So this is a jig or a cradle to measure the amount of reed that we're going to be using in each bundle. So we harvest, we put the butt ends of the reed in here, sticking out about a foot, and we fill it up to our fill line here about 1 inch below the top. And this gives us about an 8.5 inch diameter bundle, and that will be equivalent to covering 1 square foot on the roof. It's also very useful when a lot of people are harvesting reed to keep the reed bundles a uniform size, which makes it easier to apply on the roof. One last piece of equipment is some sort of string that we used to tie up the reed bundles, and this is a temporary bundling process just to get things moved around from the reed field to the transportation, back to the site, up to the roof. And then generally all the bundles are released and spread into a monolithic mat on the roof, and we can reclaim our strings. Out in the reed fields, we've got a beautiful winter day, looking for reed that's about 5 to 8 feet tall, bright and straight and strong and flexible. The reed is harvested when it's dormant in the wintertime and the ground is frozen. Using a small hand sickle, serrated hand sickle, and slicing at the base of the reed, moving from right to left across a swath. Taking everything down in the path, just harvesting a handful of it, doing a little bit of cleaning on it, the excess things out of the way, setting it down nearby, and then going back to collect another bundle. And I'll be harvesting in small piles near where I'm working, so I don't have to walk too far, and put most of my energy into the harvesting. We usually harvest reed that are 1 to 2 years old, and they're pretty much the same size at that point. If you find an old field that has reed at various stages, we might see short reed, medium reed, and long reed, in which case we harvest out the taller, bigger, older ones and use them for different purposes on the site. Here's an example of the thicker, older reeds. Now we're tying him into bundles and doing a little cleanup, a little tap down, put it in our cradle, using our string about 1 yard long, tying a simple miller's knot that's a quick release knot around the bundle. I wrap it around my finger, take my finger out, and take the folded end through that loop. I reach around the bundle with the loop so that the folded end comes up towards me with the knot. And I want to hold the tension at this point, so I'm going to put my index finger underneath the point where it folds over, pinch it with my thumb, then I'll be using my right hand to make a hill, a little cave under here, and then I'm going to pull on the cave and pull it up tight into my pinched hand, making sure that the tail doesn't come through. So I'm making a quick release knot. The tying is used to transport the bundles from one place to another, and then eventually the ties are removed when it's put on the roof. The last part of the bundle is the butt end where it's cut. The reed are wider at that end of the material, and by tying it about a foot from the end, then tapping it down and getting all the reed to fall down to the bottom, and then working the string down so it's really tight against that lower part of the reed, then we have something that's very stable to transport the number of times where it's going to be moving. Because the reed that they grow around here are so tall, we clip them down to 5 feet, and that works pretty well for our wall system and the way it's applied to the roof. Over the years, we figured out that cutting off the reed to about 5 feet tall would work very well on our roof system, because the reed tend to be taller than they are in Europe, and we're also able to leave the seed heads in the field, which is a good idea since this is an invasive species. After the reed's brought home, find a way to keep it dry. It can be stored for any length of time as long as it's kept dry in either a building, a barn, or in a teepee that can protect it from the rain. You can go to strawbalestudio.org for pictures and information about workshops and opportunities to learn more.